Today is the 11th of August and I'm at the Wisley Gardens where we have our bonsai collection, and as I may have told you before, I come here every 6 weeks or thereabouts. During the lockdown we haven't come that often, but we come to check over the trees. But the Wisley staff have been watering it and giving it light trimming, so all the trees look very well. And today I've come with our colleague Joe to look after the trees, so we're going to check them all over. They look extremely well considering that we've had a very difficult year. We've had extremes of weather. It's either been too hot or in the winter was too cold, and then we had a lot of rain. Of course, rain has helped the trees to grow, and you look at the trees, they're all beautiful and green. Look at this juniper, deep green. Look at this Chinese elm in perfect shape. Look at the size of this. Have you ever seen a Chinese elm this size? And all the pads are in perfect condition, and even the Deshojo, if we turn around to see the Deshojo, maples usually get burnt at this time of the year. And if you remember me telling you, these trees are out here 12 months of the year. That means 365 days without any protection from frost or wind, and yet every leaf is perfect. So when we talk about leaf scorch should not happen if you keep the trees watered well. Let us look at every single tree. Look at them in perfect condition. Look at the leaves, all beautiful. So I'll go and take a quick tour before I finish, but the purpose of today's visit really is this Satsuki azalea has finished flowering and I need to give it a good prune, and so I'm taking this back to the nursery and I'm going to swap it with another tree. So that is being changed, and we've brought some new trees here. So we always make a rotation of the trees so that hopefully it never gets boring. So there's always something new to see. So there you go. I hope you will enjoy this tour that I'm going to do in just a minute. So these are the trees we're going to take away. This is the Conker tree. And the Conker trees, they get this spotting of the leaves at this time of the year. It's not really anything serious because all Conker trees or horse chestnuts suffer from this. It makes it unsightly, but it's not a virulent disease. So we want everything looking good, so we're taking this back. So that's the reason why we're changing this. This we're changing because it needs a heavy feed and heavy pruning, so that's going to be changed. But all the other trees look in good condition, so I'm not worried about that. This is a new tree that we brought to replace. This is one of our big edible figs, Ficus carica, 80-year-old tree. Another new tree that we brought is this Japanese hornbeam, quite a rare tree, Carpinus lexiflora. Look at the beautiful leaves. Look at that trunk, gnarled and old. This was imported by me in 1993 or 1990, and the trunk has tripled in thickness since that time. So I have changed the shape of this tree since I first brought it in from Japan. All the other trees are looking good. This is our famous Juniper chinesis blows, the one that I made in the book Masterclass, created in 1984. So this is the history of the tree. When it was first made, the trunk was no thicker than maybe one of these branches here, like that. And look at the trunk now. It's about 5 inches at the base. And my trademark, I used to plait the branches to make them look more dense. So look at Bonsai Masterclass, you'll see how this tree was made. Japanese white pine on its own roots. The white pines have that yellow cast. The ones which are grafted don't have this color, but the ones on their own roots have this slightly yellowish tinge. It's not that tree is unhealthy, but that is the nature of the tree. This ginkgo always surprises me. This has been here since 1987. I've never changed the tree, and it sits here 12 months of the year, doesn't suffer one bit. Look at it. This was a new one that I brought. This is a Cryptomeria forest of 5 trees. Forests always fascinate people because they look very natural. So this was a new addition. So So I'm pleased to say that all the trees look pretty good. I did prune the candles on this in the spring. I don't think I need to prune it anymore. Top is getting a bit top heavy, so that may need a prune. I must say all the trees are looking excellent, excellent condition. And that is Wisley for you. I love coming to Wisley. And we are pleased that we are able to add to the beauty of Wisley with this collection of trees. So this is our Herons Bonsai Walk, named after herons.
Is that the glass house then?
Basically a giant greenhouse.
Yeah.
And it has loads of
Where's the best way to go?
I don't wish this sign to change. And you see the number of people who enjoy it. The children touch the trees, we don't mind. Nothing is ever damaged. You enjoy it? You like seeing the trees? Have you looked at the ages? Are they old? Look at that for a Bouverensis. Massive, massive, massive tree. So I hope you've enjoyed this little visit, and I may take one or two more views of Wisley because it's changing very fast and it's really moving with the time. So I'm really delighted to be part of Wisley's excellent service to people who love gardening and who love plants. So here we are. This is David. We are at Wisley, and David, I found out, does bonsai, and he actually watches some of my YouTube videos.
Most certainly.
Okay.
Most enjoyable.
So do you come to Wisley often?
About once a month.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you live quite near, or you?
We live in Egham in
Oh,
Road,
okay. So not that
20
far.
minutes
Not that
away.
far. Okay.
We love it.
You
It's
find my YouTube videos useful?
very useful. It's quite inspiring sometimes.
Okay.
Mind you, it makes me feel a bit
No, don't say that.
inadequate
No, don't say
sometimes,
that.
but it gives me a chance
yeah.
to try and copy some of
Yeah.
the designs.
We try to make bonsai simple.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, great.
Thank
Nice
you
to
very
meet
much.
you, David.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
While I'm here, I thought I'd give a critique of one of these trees. Now, this is one of the maples that I'm really proud of. I think it's about 1.2 meter tall, and look at it, it's a perfect tree, and it was grown from one of our field grown material. And let's look at the critique and see what we can make of it. Most people would say that the first branch on the right hand side is far too low, but if we were to take that branch away, the tree would not look quite so nice. It would be incomplete. You could take it away, but it would be incomplete. And let's look at the Nibari. This, I reckon, is 70 years old. It was made from one of our field grown trees about 35 years ago, and it was just grown in the field for a long time. The Nibari is beautiful, and because we don't repot the trees too often, the roots fuse together, and hence you get this beautiful effect, all the roots fusing together. That low branch there serves a purpose because it has helped to thicken the trunk. So you can look at it as a sacrificial branch. So that in effect has served its purpose. Being sacrificial, it's made that trunk really thick at the base. In fact, there's a case for making this front too. Look at the Nibari on this side, this beautiful this side, except that the tree leans that way. If I were to repot the tree at a slightly different angle, I could use this as the front. But then I've used two branches coming out from the same point. So this really technically is a fault. But if you view it from the other side, it's not a fault. This mountain maple, like most mountain maples, has very, very good autumn color. I'm now looking more critically. The second branch is on the left hand side, that's coming out right. The back branch is really two branches, one here and one here. There are two branches coming out from the same point, and then it is stepped, as you can see, it goes stepping up and up and up, and there's a lovely crown there. So this is a critique of this tree. Beautiful tree, and in a month or two's time you will see the beautiful autumn color.
So autumn colour, like you say.
We're just taking a walk, and this is the Rockery rock garden. Rock gardens were very popular at the turn of the century, late 19th century, early 20th century. Most stately homes and public gardens had a rock garden. And can you imagine, all these tons of rocks were moved by hand. I have helped prune these trees over many, many years. The last time I did it may have been about 2 or 3 years ago. Like that great big weeping picea, that was just a blob, is becoming a blob again. That spruce I also pruned to show the trunk. So you'll notice our handiwork. Most of the trees show the trunk. And I've been teaching the staff at Wisley how to prune the trees using our artistic skills, and exactly the same way we prune our bonsai. Let's go and see. There's a very famous Japanese larch. That is a Bouverensis. And you can see, if you were to put it in a pot and give it a bit of pruning, no, this is a Mugo, sorry. Look at it, it would make a beautiful bonsai. And that larch is about 200 or more years old. It's got a very long history. I have pruned it a bit, but I've tried to resuscitate it and make it more bonsai looking, but it keeps losing branches. And this famous larch, look at it, it's pruned in a weird shape. But this is the thing, although it says aged 100 years, it is more than 100 years old. I think you can hardly read it, but if I read it out to you, that label has been here for the last 50 or 60 years. As long as I've been visiting Wisley, I've seen this label here. I'm surprised no one has stolen it. So it says age 100 years, imported from Japan, October 21st, 1904. 24, so it's imported 116 or 117 years ago. James Carter and Company. And it was imported from Yokohama Nursery, I think. There you go. James Carter and Company, seedsman to His Majesty the King. High Holborn, London, W1, I think. There you go. Such a famous tree.